Oh, good boy. Good boy. Step out. Step out. Good boy. And normal. Did you catch the rabbit? Yeah? Somehow I don't think you're telling the truth. Yeah. Somehow I think the big rabbit, which was actually a hen. So I mentioned in the last blog that the next blog would be the all harness show and obstathon and pod an hour and 1 hour and whatnot. However, that was meant to be held on the weekend, so it's Monday now, so that should have been held Saturday, Sunday. On Thursday, our show judge notified us that him and his wife had COVID, and then Friday morning, my dad, who is the owner of the property that we hold many of our events at, let me know that he also had COVID. So we're deriving that the funeral that both our judge and the wife and Dad went to for a fellow carriage driving member on Monday was obviously a little bit of a COVID spreader. So we went to the committee and we asked them whether we should still run. We had organised another judge to substitute by that point before we found out that Dad had COVID. And coupled with the spread, we'd also had a committee meeting on the Wednesday, which we had all attended. So we were all a little bit anxious about whether the committee meeting had also been a spreader event. And we also had a very keen eye on the weather forecast because we were forecast to get thunder and lightning storms on the Saturday afternoon. So from about, I think it was about 3 o'clock onwards, it was meant to be thunder and lightning, and it was meant to be pretty heavy rain from about 10 a.m. onwards. So the committee made the decision to postpone the event. So now we have to reconvene at our next committee meeting, which is the 24th of January, to find a new date for that event. The only problem is from here on into the season, it gets pretty jam-packed for events. So finding a date's going to be a little bit tricky. We have our dressage championships, so our national championships for graded dressage on the first week of January, so that's, I think it's like the 6th and 7th of January or something like that over in Hastings. So now that's going to be pretty much the next event for my boys, which isn't ideal because we haven't really had a lot of outings and a lot of prep work. And for Henry it doesn't really matter, but for Beau, who gets super anxious at new venues, I'd quite like to get 5 or 6 outings under his belt before we go off to nationals. But it is what it is, so we have to deal with it. It's the same for everyone. So that's where we're at. And of course we've got Christmas and New Year's in between now and then. So I'm actually going away for 8 days to the lake for camping. So for those of you that are up in the northern hemisphere, our Christmas is rather different to your own. Our Christmas holidays are summer holidays, so we spend them at the beach or at the lake, out camping, and doing all the things that you do in July. So I'll try and get some footage of us on our camping holiday, but mostly it's going to be about relaxing, getting back to basics, and just enjoying some time with my friends and family. We got a few friends that are coming camping with us this year. I will, however, be travelling back from the lake to the farm every at least couple of days. I do want to keep the boys in work. Where we go camping, the lake is about probably 3/4 of an hour's drive from the farm. In previous years, I have said, stuff it, the boys can have a holiday, but they've just had so much time off because of the weather this year that I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I'm going to keep up with the early mornings sneak out of the campground. So it's not a camping ground as such. It's just a Department of Conservation camping site. So think bare basics. I think there's a couple of toilets, and I think that's about the extent of it. I'm not even sure if there's any taps at the site. So it also gives me the opportunity to pick up some fresh ice on the way backwards and forwards through. There's a little village that I go through called Kiki. So yeah, just because of the weather, because the boys haven't been able to have really consistent work in the lead up to Christmas, I just want to keep them going. Just on a different note, I watched the World Cup driving at London last night, and can I just say, like, thank goodness for modern technology and streaming services, because heads up, like the FEI TV that do the streaming of that World Cup driving, it just makes us in this little old country of New Zealand feel so connected to the rest of the world. And to see Boyd drive so smoothly and so efficiently and take the win in all three, the extreme driving, round one and also round two of the driving at the World Cup, driving at the London show, was pretty special. Like, he's just a regular guy from Aussie who went over to England and then obviously on to the Netherlands to drive horses. I mean, that's all what we all do, and he's just done it on such a amazingly fantastic scale, and he's helped raise the profile of driving not only in Australia but definitely here in New Zealand as well. So I'm super excited to be going to his clinic in Australia in the new year. So I think it's either the second or third weekend of January. I'm heading off to Melbourne to go to the Boyd Excel 4-day clinic. Just fence sitting, but I think you actually learn a lot more fence sitting than you do driving yourself. And I'm so excited about going because he is such an incredible driver, and he has, I've trained under Sarah Garnett, who he has trained under, and a lot of my techniques that I use with my own clients are the techniques that Sarah has taught me as a student, and I'm really, really excited to see what he has done with those techniques and how he's created his own training style. And I'm really excited about bringing that training back to New Zealand and sharing it with all the drivers on this side of the ditch. So yeah, that's a pretty exciting little trip that I've got planned. And yes, I will be recording, and I will be taking lots of photos and lots of videos. So I'll be making sure to share that. But anyway, it's a foggy old morning here at the farm, but the fog will lift and it'll be a beautiful day. So let's work these ponies. All right. One thing though, just before we jump into it, because I had thought that we would have, hundreds of people arriving on Friday, on Thursday, I spent quite a few hours cleaning. And nobody got to appreciate it, so I'll share some of that cleaning with you. So all the winter rugs got put away. That took ages because they all needed to be cleaned. I think there were about 12 rugs hanging on that rail there. Mum would have had a fit. And then I cleaned obviously all in here, and the laundry, it all got cleaned. This was absolutely filthy. There was debris everywhere. I didn't put my harness away because I had presumed we would have been using it, but never mind. That toilet there is actually coming with us to go camping. And then I hosed all of that concrete down. That was absolutely filthy. There was bird fluff everywhere. And then I swept in here, and all the covers that were all thrown all over all of these carriages all got put away. There would have been about 20 covers draped over the carriages. Miss Benny got her cover put back on. That bench got cleaned. All the covers got put away. And I swept all back here. Miss Benny's seat got picked up off the ground and put there. Miss Benny's accessories got put back on top of Miss Benny. And then all the winter covers got put back up here. As you can see, there's quite a few of them. Right, all the harness got put away. That's my pair harness bags there. All my saddle pads got put away. And yeah, so at least somebody can appreciate my hours of cleaning and getting very, very dusty from many, many winter covers. Right, now that I've all got your sympathy comments below, yeah, right, I'll go get these ponies. Right, your turn. You're not quite so easy, are you? I don't know if I'm going to be able to film this one. Bozo. Bozo. Good boy. Good boy. A little bit more to trim. Good boy. Woo. Boo. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. Right. Oh dear, Henry. Watch out, baby. Oh, boo. That wasn't helpful, Bozo. Oh, I know. You're not being helpful. Right, you do it then. Right. Over, Henry. Come on. Let me have some space. Bo. Henry. Did you catch the rabbit? Yeah? Somehow I don't think you're telling the truth. Yeah, somehow I think the big rabbit, which was actually here, got away on you. Because I don't think your little legs can go fast enough to catch the rabbits. Luna? What do you reckon? Luna, should we go on the carriage? What are you two up to? Nothing, says Henry. Yeah, I can always trust Bo to tell me the truth. That's why you both have bite marks all over you. Good boy. Stretch down. Henry. Can. Trot him. Oi. So a few people have asked me what makes a good carriage driving pony, and well, temperament is the first thing. They've got to be suitable for training, willing to learn, and fairly chilled out really. They need to be able to put up with quite tense atmospheres and really be able to just logically think things out for themselves. But in terms of paces, Henry, walk on, walk, good boy. In terms of paces, we want a really good overstep at the walk. Henry, walk on. And that means where the front foot leaves the ground, how far ahead or behind of that footfall is the back foot landing. So if you watch Henry, walk on, you can see that his comes quite a way forward from where the front foot leaves when he's not shuffling. Henry, walk on. So that's the walk. Needs to be able to stretch down. So in the dressage tests, they need to be able to lengthen. Not quite down to the grass level, Henry. Henry, trot on. They need to be able to stretch their frame through their back and their neck. So obviously any conformation errors that stop them from doing that, you're gonna be, at a disadvantage already. Yes, the train's going past. Walk on. They need to be flexible, so they need to have a really good shoulder and a well set neck through the shoulder, and they need to be able to swing through the back. So you can kind of see Henry walk on, how he walks. You can see the bum is kind of got a good swing on it. Right, Henry, trot on, trot. At the trot, you want them to be forward. You want them to be, happy to go about their work. Come on. Which, most days Henry is. But we all know that he's a lazy little twerp at home. But at competitions, he makes up for it. Right, at the trot, regular 2-beat trot. No shuffling. Definitely no pacing or anything like that. Come on. Nice and smooth. Good boy, Henry. And hold. Oh, good boy. A pony that naturally stands square and up is going to be a little easier to train in terms of your dressage than others. And somebody who just carries themselves in a lovely frame is going to generally be a little bit easier. Henry was bought sight unseen from Facebook as a 3-year-old, I believe, and we just absolutely lucked out with him. He's a Section C. Yeah, you can have a graze. He's a Section C Welsh. He didn't grow to where most Section Cs grow to, so most Section Cs are 13 hands. He's 12'1", and that's because his mother was a but his father was a C. So his father is Replay, who is Lucy, the mare in the paddock. That's her father as well. She's out of a C though, so she has grown to height. She's about 13'1". Okay, that's Henry. We'll call it worked. It's not really been worked. He's done a quarter of an hour on the long line this morning. I'm just struggling to think about, keeping things different for him, because he's going to get awfully bored if I just keep on doing the same old dressage or fitness training, because there's nothing much coming up soon. So we've got to just keep things moving along and keep them ticking along in terms of movement, but I don't want them to get stale. So that's why you've got a halter and a long line on today. And I'm not even going to call it lunging, because to me lunging is with a roller and 2 reins and, working in a frame, whereas he's just trotted around for a quarter of an hour. So, right, let's go get Bo. And then we can show you the difference between good conformation and not so good conformation, but a bloody good pony all nonetheless. Alright, so Bo. Conformation all over the place. Bo. Trot on, but still a very good carriage pony, because apart from his tendency to get affected by grass in the spring, as you've all seen, trot on, Bo. Still a very good pony across country. Not really that afraid of anything when he's out doing his cross country. And trot on. He actually does have some nice movement when he puts his mind to it. Trot on, Bo. Come on. And walk on. So as you can see, even Bo with his pretty shoddy walk on conformation still over tracks. So that was one of the things that appealed to me about him. He has a really good walk on him. Oi. Oi. Bo. Walk on. It's the first time that he's actually ever been, let's call it, lunged with a halter and long line. Normally he's got a bridle and a roller on, so he's taken advantage a little bit. Alright, Bo, trot on. Trot. Come on. So you can see he's slightly weaker through the front end than Henry, but he actually has a lot of power in his back end. Come on. Trot on, Bo. Come on. Trot on. Good boy. Bo. Walk. Walk on. Oh, good boy. Walk on. Bo. Hold. Hold. Good boy. That takes a little while for you. Good boy. Trot on, Bo. Okay, Bo listening. Bo listening. Step out. Bo. Step out. Come on. Step out. Good boy. And trot. And trot. Good boy. Okay, listening. Bo. Canter. Canter. Good boy. Canter on. Canter on. Come on. And trot. Good boy. Good boy. Bow. Walk. Walk on. Walk. Trot on. Stretch down, bow. Come on. Okay, bow, listening. Canter. Canter. Good boy. I know that's your harder side. Good boy. Good boy. And trot. Good boy. Good boy. So I try to vary the size of the circle. This is the lead right out. So the handle. And obviously he's just about had his quarter of an hour, so I thought I'd let him out and have a bigger diameter circle just to stretch out a bit. It also tests out the voice aids, them being that far away. Right, we'll see if he'll listen. Bow. Step out. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Step out. Step out. Good boy. And normal trot. Trotting. Trotting. Bow. Listening. Canter. Canter. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Canter on. Alright, we'll try a tricky one. Bow. Walk on. Walk on. Walking. Walking. Walk. Walk. Good boy. And hold. This one might not work. Bow. Bow. Hold. Woo. Bow. Woo. Hold. Good boy. He's a good lad. That'll do for today.